Jehoahaz, king of Israel. In 23rd year of Joash, son of Ahazah, king of Judah, Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, became king of Israel in Samaria. And he reigned 17 years. He did evil in the eye of the Lord by following the sin of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. And he did not turn away from them. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel. And for a long time he kept them under the power of Hazael, king of Aram, and Ben-Hadad his son. Then Jehoahaz sought the Lord's favor, and the Lord listened to him, for he saw how severely the king of Aram was oppressing Israel. The Lord provided a deliverer for Israel, and they escaped from the power of Aram. So the Israelites live in their one home as they had before, but they did not turn away from the sin of the house of Jeroboam, which he had caused Israel to commit. They continued in them. Also the Asherah pole remained standing in Samaria. Nothing had been left of the army of Jehoahaz, except 50 horsemen, 10 chariots, and 10,000 foot soldiers, for the king of Aram had destroyed the rest and made them like the dust and dressing time. But as for the other events of the reign of Jehoahaz, all he did and his achievement, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel? Jehoahaz rested with his ancestors and was buried in Samaria, and Joash his son succeeded him as king. Joash, king of Israel. In the 37th year of Joash, king of Judah, Joash, son of Jehoahaz, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 16 years. He did evil in the eye of the Lord, and did not turn away from any of the sin of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. He continued in Aram. Then, as for the other events of the reign of Joash, all he did and his achievement, including his war against Amaziah, king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel? Joash rested with his ancestor, and Jeroboam succeeded him on the throne. Joash was buried in Samaria with the king of Israel. Now Elisha had been suffering from the illness from which he died. Joash, king of Israel, went down to him and wept over him. My father, he cried, the chariot and horsemen of Israel. Elisha said, get a bow and some arrows. And he did so. Take the bow in your hands, he said to the king of Israel. When he had taken it, Elisha put his hand on the king's hand. Open the east windows, he said, and he opened it. Shoot, Elisa said, and he shot the Lord's arrow of victory, the arrows of victory over Aram. Elisha declared, "You will completely destroy Arameans at Aphek." Then he said, "Take the arrows." And the king took them. Elisha told him, "Strike the ground." He struck in 3 times and stopped. The man of God was angry with him and said, "You should have struck the ground 5 or 6 times. Then you would have defeated Aram and completely destroyed it. But now you will defeat it only 3 times." Elisha died and was buried. And Moabite raiders used to enter the country every spring. Once, while some Israelites were burying a man, suddenly they saw a band of raiders. So they threw the man's body into Elisha's tomb. When the body touched Elisha's bones, the man came to life and stood up on his feet. Hazael, king of Aram, oppressed Israel throughout the reign of Jehoahaz, but the Lord was gracious to them and had compassion and showed concern for them because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. To this day he has been unwilling to destroy them or banish them from his presence. Hazael, king of Aram, died, and Ben-Hadad his son succeeded him as king. Then Joash, son of Jehoahaz, recaptured from Ben-Hadad, son of Hazael, the town he had taken in battle from his father Jehoahaz. 3 times Joash defeated him, and so he recovered the Israelite towns. Amaziah, king of Judah. In the 2nd year of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, Amaziah, son of Joash, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 29 years. His mother's name was Jehoaddan. She was from Jerusalem. He did what was right in the eye of the Lord, but not what his father David had done. In everything he followed the example of his father Joash. The high places, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer sacrifice, and one increased there. After the kingdom was firmly in his grasp, he exhausted his officials who had murdered his father, the king, yet he did not put the children of the assassin to death, in accordance with what is written in the book of the law of Moses, where the Lord commanded, "Parents are not to be put to death, are their children, nor children put to death, nor for their parents. Each will die for their own sin." He was one who defeated 10,000 Edomites in the valley of Surt and captured Zerah in battle, calling in Juxil. The name in his has to this day. Then Amaziah sent messenger to Jehoash son of Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, king of Israel, with the challenge, "Come, let us face each other in battle." But Jehoash, king of Israel, replied to Amaziah, king of Judah, this is in Lebanon sent a message to settle in Lebanon, "Give your daughter to my son in marriage." Then a wild beast in Lebanon came along and trampled the thistle underfoot. "You have indeed defeated Edom, and now you are all arrogant. Glory in your victory, but stay at home. Why ask the trouble and cause your own downfall and that of Judah also?" Amaziah, however, would not listen, so Jehoash, king of Israel, attacked. He and Amaziah, king of Judah, faced each other at Beth Shemesh in Judah. Judah was routed by Israel, and every man fled to his home. Jehoash, king of Israel, captured Amaziah, king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Ahaziah, at Beth Shemesh. Then Jehoash went to Jerusalem and broke down wall Jerusalem from the Ephraim gate to the corner gate, a section about 400 cubits long. So he took all the gold and silver and all the articles found in the temple of the Lord and in the treasuries of the royal palace. He also took hostage and returned to Samaria. As for the other events of the reign of Jehoash, what he did and his achievement, including his war against Amaziah, the king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel? Jehoash rested with his ancestors, and he was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. And Jeroboam his son succeeded him as king. Amaziah, son of Joash, king of Judah, lived for 50 years after his death. Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel. As for the other events of the Amaziah reign, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Judah? They conspired against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, but they sent men after him of Lachish and killed him there. He was brought back by horse and was buried in Jerusalem with his ancestors in the city of David. Then all the people of Judah took Azariah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in place of his father Amaziah. He was one who rebuilt Elahs and restored it to Judah after Amaziah rested with his ancestors. Jeroboam II, king of Israel. In the 5th year of Amaziah, son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam, son of Jehoash, king of Israel, became king of Samaria, and he reigned 41 years. He did evil in the eye of the Lord, and did not turn away from any of the sin of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. He was the one who restored the boundaries of Israel from Lebo Hamath to the Dead Sea in accordance with the word of the Lord. The God of Israel spoke through his servant Jonah, son of Amittai, the prophet from God's Hebrew. The Lord had seen how bitterly everyone in Israel, whether slave or free, was suffering. There was no one to help them, and since the Lord had not said he would blot out the name of Israel from under heaven, he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam, son of Joash. As for the other events of Jeroboam's reigns, he and all he did, and his military achievements, including how he recovered for Israel both Damascus and Hamath, which had belonged to Judah, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Israel? Jeroboam rested with his ancestor, the king of Israel, and Zechariah, his son, succeeded him as king. Azariah, king of Judah. In the 27th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, Azariah, son of Amaziah, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 16 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 52 years. His mother's name was Jecholiah. She was from Jerusalem. He did what was right in the eye of the Lord, just as his father Amaziah had done. The high place, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer sacrifice and burnt incense there. The Lord afflicted the king with leprosy until the day he died, and he lived in separated house. Jotham, the king's son, had charge of the palace and governed the people of the land. As for the other events of the Azariah's reign, and all he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Judah? Azariah rested with his ancestors and was buried near them in the city of David, and Jotham his son succeeded him as king. Zechariah, king of Israel. In the 38th year of Azariah, king of Judah, Zechariah, son of Jeroboam, became king of Israel in Samaria. And he reigned 6 months. He did evil in the eye of the Lord, as his predecessors had done. He did not turn away from the sin of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. Salom, son of Jebash, conspired against Zechariah. He attacked him in front of the people, assassinated him, and succeeded him as king. The other events of Zechariah's son are written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel. So the word of the Lord spoke to Jehu was fulfilled, and your descendants will sit on the throne of Israel to the first generation. Salom, king of Israel. Salom, son of Jabesh, became king in the 39 years old of Uzziah, king of Judah, and he reigned in Samaria 1 month. But then Menahem, son of Gadi, went from Tirzah up to Samaria. He attacked Salom, son of Jabesh, in Samaria, assassinated him, and succeeded him as king. The other events, Salom's reign and the conspiracy he led, are written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel. At the time, Menahem, starting out from Tirzah, attacked Tifsa and everyone in the city and its vicinity, because they refused to open their gate. He sacked Tifsa and left open all the pregnant women. Menahem, king of Israel, in the 39th year of the Azariah, king of Judah, Menahem, son of Gadi, became king of Israel, and he reigned in Samaria 10 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord. During his entire reign, he did not turn away from the sin of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. Therefore, king of Assyria invaded the land. The Menahem gave him 1,000 talents of silver to gain his support and strengthen his own hold on the kingdom. Manahem exalted his money from Israel. Every wealthy person had to contribute 50 shekels of silver to be given to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria withdrew and stayed in the land no longer. As for the other event of Menahem's reign, and all he did, are they not written in the book of annals of the king of Israel? Menahem rested with his ancestor, and Pekahiah his son of succeeded him as king. Pekahiah, king of Israel. In the 50th years of Azariah, king of Judah, Pekahiah, son of Menahem, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 2 years. Pekahiah did evil in the eyes of the Lord. He did not turn away from the sin of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, with which he had caused Israel to commit. One of his chief officers, Pekah, son of Ramaliah, conspired against him, taking 50 men of Gilead with him. He assassinated Pekahiah along with Argob and Aryeh in the citadel of the royal palace at Samaria. So Pekah killed Pekahiah and succeeded him as king. The other event, Pekahiah's reign, and all he did, are written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel. Pekah, king of Israel, in the 52nd year of Azariah, king of Judah, Pekah, son of Ramaliah, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 20 years. He did evil in the eye of the Lord. He did not turn away from the sin of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he did cause Israel overcome it. In the time of the Pekahs, king of Israel, Tiglath Pileser, king of Assyria, came and took Ijon, Abel, Beth, Makkah, Genoa, Kadesh, and Hazor. He took Gilead and Galilee, including all the land of Naphtali, and deported the people to Assyria. Then Hoshea, son of Elah, conspired against Pekah, son of Ramaliah. He attacked and assassinated him, and then succeeded him as king. And the 20 years of Jotham, son of Uzziah. So as for the other events of Pekah's reign and all he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Israel? Jotham, king of Judah. In the 2nd year, Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, Jotham, son of Uzziah, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 60 years. His mother's name was Zeruiah, daughter of Judah. He did what was right in the eye of the Lord, just as his father Uzziah had done. The high place, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer sacrifices and burn incense there. Jotham rebuilt the upper gate of the temple of the Lord. As for the other events of Jotham's reign, and what he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of king of Judah? In those days the Lord began to send Rezin king of Aram and Pekah son of Ramaliah against Judah. Jotham rested with his ancestors and was buried with them in the city of David, the city of his father, and Ahaz his son succeeded him as king. Ahaz king of Judah. In the 17th year of Pekah, son of Ramaliah, Ahaz's son Jotham, king of Judah, began to reign. Ahaz was 20 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 60 years. Unlike David his father, he did not do what was right in the eye of the Lord his God. He followed the way of the king of Israel and even sacrificed his son over the fire, engaging in the detestable practices of the nations the Lord had driven out before the Israelites. He offered sacrifices burn incense at a high place in the hilltops and under every spreading tree. The Rezin, king of Aram, and Pekah son of Ramaliah, king of Israel, marched up to fight against Jerusalem and besiege Ahaz, but they could not overpower him. At the time, Rezin, king of Aram, recovered Elas for the Aram by driving out the people of Judah. Edomites then moved into Aras and have lived there to this day. Ahaz sent messengers to say to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, I am your servant and vessel. Come up and save me out of the hands of the king of Aram and the king of Israel, who are attacking me. And Ahaz took the silver and gold found in the temple of the Lord and in the treasuries of the royal palace, and sent it as a gift to the king of Assyria. The king of Assyria complied by attacking Damascus and capturing it. He deported its inhabitants to kill and put Rezin to death. The king of Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria. He saw an altar in Damascus and sent Uriah the priest a sketch of the altar with a detailed plan for its construction. So Uriah the priest built an altar in accordance with all the plan of the king Ahaz had sent from Damascus and finished it before King Ahaz returned. When the king came back from Damascus and saw the altar, he approached it and presented offerings. On it he offered on his burnt offering and grain offering, poured out his drink offering, and sprinkled the blood of his fellowship offerings against the altar. As for the bronze altar that stood before the Lord, he brought it from the front of the temple, from between the new altar and the temple of the Lord, and put it on the north side of the new altar. King Ahaz then gave this order to Uriah, the priest of the large new altar: offer the morning burnt offering and the evening grain offering, the king's burnt offering and his grain offering, and the burnt offering of all the people and of the land, and their grain offering and their drink offerings, place against this altar the blood of the burnt offerings and sacrifices, but I will use the bronze altar for seeking guardians. And Uriah the priest did just as King Ahaz had ordered. King Ahaz cut off the side panel and removed the basin from the movable stand. He removed the sea from the bronze purse that supported it and set it on the stone base. He took away the service canopy that had been built at the temple and removed the lower entryway outside the temple of the Lord in the presence of the king of Assyria. As for the other events of the reign of the Ahaz and what he did are As for the other events of the reign of Ahaz, what he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Judah? Ahaz rested with his ancestors and was buried with them in the city of David, and Hezekiah his son succeeded him as king. Hosea, last king of Israel. In the 12th year of Ahaz king of Judah, Hosea son of Elah became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 9 years. He did evil in the eye of the Lord, but not like the king of Israel who preceded him. Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, came up to attack Hosea, who had been Salmaneser's vessel and had paid him tribute. But the king of Assyria discovered that Hosea was in traitor, for the had sent envoys Esau, king of Egypt, and he no longer paid tribute to the king of Assyria as he had done year by year. Therefore Shalmaneser seized him and put him in prison. The king of Assyria invaded the entire land, marched against Samaria, and laid siege to it for 3 years. In the 9 years of Hosea, the king of Assyria captured Samaria and deported the Israelites to Assyria. He settled them in Hala, in Gozan, on the Habor River, and in the towns of the Medes. Israel exiled because of sin. All this took place because the Israelites had sinned against the Lord their God, who had brought them out of Egypt from under the power of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt. They worshipped other gods and followed the practices of the nations the Lord had driven out before them, as well as the practices that the king of Israel had introduced. The Israelites securely did things against the Lord their God that were not right. From watchtower to fortified city they built themselves high places in all their towns. They set up sacred stone and Asherah poles on every high hill and under every spreading trees. At every high place they burned incense as the nations whom the Lord had driven out before them had done. They did wicked things that aroused the Lord's anger. They worshipped idols. Through the Lord had said, "You shall not do this." The Lord warned Israel and Judah through all his prophets and seers. Turn from your evil ways, observe my commands and decrees in accordance with the entire law that I commanded your ancestors to obey and that I delivered to you through my servant the prophets. But they would not listen and were as stiff-necked as their ancestors, who did not trust in the Lord their God. They rejected his decrees and his covenants he had made with their ancestors, and his statutes he had warned them to keep. They followed worthless idols and themselves became worthless. They imitated the nations around them, although the Lord had ordered them to not do as they do. They forsook all commands of the Lord their God, and made for themselves two idols cast in the shape of the calves and an Asherah poles. They bowed down to all the starry hosts, and they worshipped Baal. They sacrificed their son of daughter in the fire. They practiced divination, and sought omens, and sold themselves to do evil in the eye of the Lord, arousing his anger. So the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them from his presence. Only the tribe of Judah was left. And even Judah did not keep the commands of the Lord their God. They followed the practices Israel had introduced. Therefore, the Lord rejected all the people of Israel. He afflicted them and gave them into the hands of the plunderers until he thrust them from his presence. When he tore Israel away from the house of David, they made Jeroboam, son of Nebat, their king of Jeroboam, and tired Israel away from following the Lord, and caused them to commit to great sin. The Israelite persisted in all the sin of Jeroboam, and did not turn away from them until the Lord removed them from his presence, as he had warned through all his servants the prophets. So the people of Israel were taken from their homeland into exile in Assyria, and they are still there. Samaria resettled. The king of Assyria brought people from Babylon, Cusa, Arba, Hamas, and Sepharvaim, and settled them in the town of Samaria to replace the Israelites. They took over Samaria and lived in its towns. When they first lived here, they did not worship the Lord, so he sent lions among them, and they killed some of the people. It was reported to the king of Assyria, the people of the deported, the resettled in the town of Samaria do not know what the God of the country requires. He has sent lions among them, which are killing them off, because the people do not know that he requires. Then the king of Assyria gave his order: have one of the priests you took captive from Samaria go back to live there, and teach the people what the God of the land requires. So one of the priests who had been exalted from Samaria came to live in Bethel and taught them how to worship the Lord. Nevertheless, each nation group made its own gods in the several towns where they settled and set them up in the shrines the people of Samaria had made at the high place. The people from Babylon made Cus, Benos, those from Kuta made Nergal, and those from Hamas made Ashimar. The Abites made Nibuhaz and Tak, and the Sephabites burned their children in the fire as sacrifice to Adramelech and Anamelech and god of Sepharvaim. They worshipped the Lord, but they also pointed all sorts of the one people to officiate for them as priests in the shrines at the high place. They worshipped the Lord, but they also served their one God in accordance with the custom of the nations from which they had been brought. To this day, they persist in their former practices. They neither worship the Lord nor adhere to the decrees and regulations, the laws and commands that the Lord gave the descendants of Jacob, whom he named Israel, when the Lord made a covenant with the Israelites. He commanded them to not worship any other gods or bow down to them, serve them, or sacrifice to them. But the Lord who brought you out of Egypt with mighty power and outstretched brought you up out of Egypt with mighty power and outstretched arm in is the one you must worship. To him you shall bow down, and to him offer sacrifices. You must always be careful to keep the decrees and regulations, the laws and commands he wrote for you. Do not worship other gods. Do not forget the covenant I have made with you, and do not worship other gods. Rather, worship the Lord your God. It is who will deliver you from the hand of all your enemies. The would not listen, however, but persisted in their former practice even while these people were worshipping the Lord. They were serving their idols to this day. Their children and grandchildren continued to do as their ancestors did.